Hello all, I welcome you all to Renaissance Academy. Today we are going to discuss Where the Mind is Without Fear, this poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore is a well-known author from India and he was the first European to win the Nobel Prize in 1930. Where the Mind is Without Fear, this poem is taken from an anthology written by Rabindranath Tagore called Gitanjali. As you know, this poem was written when India was being ruled by British. Actually, this poem was written in Bengali, but later it was translated into English by Rabindranath Tagore himself. In this poem, Rabindranath Tagore prays to the God that there should be social, educational, political, and economical freedom for India. Let's see the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of the truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms toward perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that haven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So, where the mind is without fear, as you know, we are living in 21st century, right? But this poem was written before independence, right? When India was being ruled by British. But still we are reading, discussing this poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. So it means that Where the Mind is Without Fear, this poem still having a relevance in today's era too. Right. So let's discuss the poem. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the knowledge is free. So as you know, this is a prayer by Rabindranath Tagore to the God, right? He makes an appeal to the God that he wants every mind without fear. He wants every mind without fear, and he wants that everyone should live dignity, live a life with dignity, right? He wants knowledge to be free, right? So here he is presenting a liberal view, right? He's saying that everyone's mind should be without fear and everyone should live a life with dignity, right? And there should be a knowledge which is free of cost, right? So before independence there were harassment operations by the British. So because of that he was appealing to the God that there should be every Indian without fear and every Indian should live dignity, life of dignity, right? And he was urging that there should be knowledge which is free of cost. As you know, there were middle classes who used to learn, right? They were used to learn uh, higher English, right? So they were used to learn English, right? But from the lower strata, very few people entered in the educational sector, right? So where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, right? So the poet is appealing to the God that the world should not be broken into fragments by the narrow domestic walls. Narrow domestic walls means there should not be a division on the basis of class, caste, religion. He want whole world. He want whole world to be unified, to be integrated, right? So here we can find that there is a view of Rabindranath Tagore where he puts internationalism over there, right? So he is saying that the whole world, right, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic wars. So he is saying that this whole world should not be broken up on the basis of religion, caste, creed, right? So he wanted internationalism over there. He is urging for humanism, right? Where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm toward perfections. The poet warned that everyone should speak truth, right? And every tireless striving stretches his arm toward perfections. Whoever is ready for struggling, they should stretch their arms, they should struggle to achieve perfections in their life, right? So everyone should have a chance, everyone should get an opportunity to stretch their arms towards the perfections, right? To struggles toward perfections, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert's sand of dead habit. So the poet is appealing to the God that everyone should have a clear stream of thought. They should think clearly and they should not lose their thinking into the bad habits, right? Into the bad rituals, right? As you know that there are old traditional customs or rituals which are not scientific, right? So he is appealing to the God that everyone should have a clear reason, scientific temper, right? Where the mind is laid forward by thee into ever widening thought and actions, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So the poet is appealing to the God that where the mind is laid forward by thee, so God should lead everyone's mind toward ever widening broad ideas or actions into the heaven of freedom. So everyone should think freely, right? And there should be a freedom, there should be a heaven of freedom, right? So the poet says that let my country awake, let my country awake. They should think scientifically, there should not be a division into my country. In this way, in this poem, Rabindranath Tagore is appealing to the God that there should be a complete freedom in India. Okay, so you got it? Right. So in this whole poem, the poet is putting various views like liberalism, humanism, internationalism, right? So the poet is basically appealing to the God that India should be free from the clutches of British rule and there should be a complete freedom. Thank you.